Hey friends, it's Dr. B, your palliative MP, and I want to take a moment to apologize on behalf of the medical community because we have done a really poor job of preparing people for what a natural death actually looks like. This was not done intentionally, but by avoiding the conversation, by over medicalizing the process in real life and dramatizing it in movies, we've taken something natural and made it feel unfamiliar and frightening. So today I want to talk about what it actually looks like to die naturally and what is normal. Friends, we can describe birth in incredible detail. We can describe what a contraction feels like. We know what the body does. Even if we've never given birth, we have an idea what's normal. We prepare for it, we teach it, we expect it to be intense and physical and sometimes uncomfortable. We know that there are things that we can do to make it less uncomfortable, like epidural, while the body goes through this natural process. Overall, we understand and we accept that birth is natural and it has a process and the body knows what to do. But death, the one thing that's guaranteed that all of us will experience, we don't talk about. So when we see it happening, when the body begins to shut down, we don't recognize it. We think something's wrong. We think our person is suffering, even when they're not. And we feel like we need to fix it. I take care of patients at the end of life, patients that are dealing with serious illness. And one of the most common things I hear from family members is, they're not eating. Shouldn't we do something? They're sleeping all the time. Can you hold the medication? Breathing sounds awful. Are they suffering? And I understand why. Because no one has ever shown us what a natural death actually looks like. And I'll be honest with you, until I got into this field of medicine, I didn't even know what a natural death looked like. And as the body begins to shut down, it starts to slow down. People become more tired. They sleep more. They eat less. And this is where the fear shows up amongst those that love this person. Because we've been taught that food equals strength. But at the end of life, the body doesn't need strength and it doesn't need food the same way anymore. It's not starving. It's shutting down systems it no longer needs. They're awake less, they're drifting in and out, and eventually they're not awake at all, but their heart's still beating. This isn't something that's going wrong. This is the brain conserving energy. One of the most common points of distress is when the dying person is sleeping more, and this is often confused with being over-medicated. Your person is going to sleep more and more, whether they receive medication or not. The difference is, are they sleeping comfortably or uncomfortably? And then there's the sound, the one that alarms everyone. The rattling in the back of the throat. It sounds distressing. But here's what's actually happening. There's a small amount of fluid in the back of our throat that we naturally, when we're alive and thriving, we swallow without even thinking about it. But as we're dying and as our breathing patterns change, air starts moving through that fluid. And that's the sound that you're hearing. They're not choking. They're not drowning. And most importantly, they're not even aware of it. So they're not suffering from it. Breathing becomes irregular, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes with pauses. This is reflex breathing. The brain is no longer directing the respirations the way that it once did. And then eventually there's a breath that's followed by another, and then one more, and then there's a quiet space that isn't followed by another breath. That is a natural death. And just like birth, this is a process, a physical process that the body knows how to go through. But because we don't talk about it, we don't recognize it. And when we don't understand it, we become afraid. And when we watch our person die and we don't know what's going on, it becomes traumatic. We intervene, we try to fix something that may not need fixing. But when we understand it, something shifts. we become less afraid and more present. And instead of trying to stop the process, we can support the person who's actually going through it. Because death, when it's understood, is not always something to fear. Now, we will grieve the loss of our person, but sometimes it's something that we can learn to walk through with someone we love.